Spring is nature's way of saying, let's party, so come on down to the Nugget and have some fun. In April, Mondays and Tuesdays, enjoy mystery hot seat drawings, up to $500 in cash or free slot play every 30 minutes from 4 to 8:30 p.m. Wednesdays and Thursdays earn 10 times the points for, wait for it, scooters and stash cash. Every Friday and Saturday, you can win cash to stash or a scooter. One winner every Friday and Saturday night. So let's party where the fun never stops. Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino.
It turned out that after we were presented a document, we brought it back here to the museum, and Celine Haig, who's our historian here, our ace historian, went ahead and did a lot of research on it, and in a very short period of time determined that the signature is printed along with the document. In other words, it's just a regular signature, and as you know, it has the period behind it, which they did in those times to differentiate between a real signature and a printed signature. And therefore, it's not a real signature. However, we still have the document on hand at the museum to show, because the document itself is very valuable. The document itself was issued to a particular soldier. We've done the research on this soldier. He was a private in C Company of the 144th Division from the Ohio Volunteers. And this was a program that they instituted at the end of the war in order to have more soldiers. They did volunteer regiments that were guaranteed a 100-day service. In other words, the day that you joined, you would serve for 100 days and you were released. And you were given this document that we have a copy of. And it's filled in with the soldier's name and his company, where he served, etc., in ink.
So this document itself is a copy, but they made so many copies, but this is an original saying that this went to this particular soldier. There's no copies of this soldier's document.
Right. Well, let's say that it was a printed document, not a copy. It's a printed document, and they printed many thousands of them, of course, for the soldiers. But each soldier received one of these, and they filled it in completely with ink. And the ink, if you look at the document, you see the ink is turning a brownish color because the ink at those times used a lot of iron in their content, and they change from the weather and from the light to a different color. But you can still see the soldier's name, and it tells where he served and so on. These soldiers that volunteered for this 100-day tour of duty were not required to go to the front and fight in battles. They did other services, and so they were safe during that period of time. And as a result, many tens of thousands of volunteers came from, this happened to be Ohio Regiment, and there were also in the state of Indiana, Iowa, Illinois, and Michigan. They did the same thing. So they think there was as many as 80,000 of these documents issued, each one filled out by hand. But the president couldn't have signed that many, nor Edwin Stanton, the Secretary of War.